Hey guys, it's Christex. So, obviously, if you have not been living under a rock, there's been a lot of debate in the COD community, and the YouTube COD community especially, about reverse boosting. Mainly coming from a Rick calling out people, which I respect Rick for doing it. Great job. And I was actually I was in Hero's Twitch chat earlier today. Here at Mark of a Hero, a reverse booster. And I actually managed to not get banned. Apparently it was because I was being more civil. I mean, I was just trying to debate and see if I could get anything out of him. But I've noticed, right, we need to get all the arguments and counter arguments for reverse boosting, because there's two sides to reverse boosting. There's, is it good? Is it bad? Well, no, you've got the reverse boosting side, and then the people who don't like it. And the thing is, there's so many arguments and counter arguments, and even counter arguments for those counter arguments, but I feel like I just have to speak about them. So, reverse boosting or two boxing is when you get a very low stat account, use it to invite your main account to a lobby, back the low stat account up, and you should have a very, very low skill bracket lobby. You will basically be fighting people with absolutely no spatial awareness or like no idea what they're doing. Now, most of the top COD content creators all reverse boost. They all two box. Mainly because they're too lazy and they have to avoid skill-based matchmaking to get their nukes. And yeah, it basically just speeds up content for them. But normally their defenses, skill-based matchmaking shouldn't exist in public sessions, so I'm just beating the system. Now, there's a counter-argument to this. Obviously, skill-based matchmaking shouldn't exist in public, no, well, yeah, pub games. Let's say pub games. Of course, skill-based matchmaking shouldn't be in pub games. But at the same time, even if there was no skill-based matchmaking, your lobbies would still be sweaty. Look at XDefiant for an example. Look at what happened to Fortnite when people were actually getting good at the game. Look at Apex Legends. Sweaty games, because people, majority of the player base, are at a similar skill level. But then, like, you've got all these reverse boosters dropping nuke after nuke after nuke after nuke, game after game after game. Back in those skill-based matchmaking days, were they really doing it that? Were they really nuking every single lobby? Getting more than 200 kills every single lobby? Getting more than 100 kills on big maps like Subbase? And now, normally their counter-argument to this is, but, you know, there's no skill brackets. Like, that's what matchmaking used to be like. But, are you telling me matchmaking used to be, like, playing against an entire team that have no spatial awareness, have absolutely no idea what they're doing, don't even know how to point and shoot a gun, and even people who may have disabilities that prevent them from actually being able to get as good as some players on the game. It's like competing in a 100-meter sprint race on steroids, but all your other competitors are forced to do the race in a wheelchair. Now, another thing that reverse boosters and people who defend it will say, work smarter, not harder. You think you're working smarter because you're manipulating the matchmaking and you're doing what Activision don't want you to do. Even though, like, boosting is against Activision TOS, yet they don't punish it. And now you're saying you're working smarter, but at the same time, let me ask you this question. Are you buying bundles? If you answered yes, you do realise one of the main factors of why Activision has skill-based matchmaking in their games is because it somehow makes them more money than just regular ping-based matchmaking. So, by you protesting and thinking, oh, I'm fighting the matchmaking, I'm like, you're really not. You're just funding Activision I cannot speak. To continue being complete and utter arseholes. And now, let me add in this. Reverse booster, I've said this many times. Reverse boosting is cheating. And if you're saying, no, it's just beating the system, the definition of cheating is gaining an unfair advantage. Either gaining an unfair advantage dishonestly. Are you telling me reverse boosting isn't gaining an unfair advantage? You are using a second account to get into the lowest of the lowest skill bracket to absolutely dominate. And you do have an advantage. Your advantage is you've not been matched through skill-based matchmaking, so you're guaranteed to dominate because you've manipulated the system into getting in a skill bracket you shouldn't be in. Now, obviously, me saying that doesn't mean I like skill-based matchmaking. In this gameplay, what, I get about 2 KD? The next gameplay... No, not the next gameplay, but the next game following this, I got thrown... I basically just got thrown into a train. I got put halfway through a match. The other team already had like 140 points of domination, and I finished with like a 0.6 KD. I'm not saying skill-based matchmaking's good, but reverse boosting is just a temporary solution. Because you do realise Activision are eventually going to combat reverse boosting. I saw a few tweets before Black Ops 6 beta saying, oh, apparently Activision are going to like do some things to counter it, or the Treyarch like go make it so people like accounts from the same IPs. I'm not entirely sure. You can go fact check me on this. But reverse boosting is not fighting the system. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. Please do let me know in the comments. Obviously, I love seeing the support from you guys, and I also love having debates in the comments. Don't forget to like and sub, as it really does help the channel out, and it really does push my content up further, higher into the algorithm. And with all that being said, I've been Chris Dex. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.